our monthly catch up with the CEO. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Ainslie Insights, brought to you by ainslie.com.au, the home of Ainslie Bullion, Ainslie Crypto, Ainslie Wealth, and the Gold and Silver Standard. Be sure to have a look. Today, we're trying something a bit new, but we're hopefully going to repeat this every month. We've got our CEO, Michael Engerman, joining us to have a bit of a chat about all things Ainslie, really. How are you going today, Michael?
Yeah, good, Chris. Very good.
It's been a very interesting time for the business. That's why it's so good to get you here, particularly now to talk about it. We've had a new branch opening. We've had all sorts of stuff going on. What do you start us off today with the big picture? Just what's been going on at Ainslie? What's front of your mind at the moment?
Oh, front of mind. That's a great question. I mean, there's been so much happening, isn't there? Like, I think, the big ticket item that we achieved a little bit later than we thought, but we still got it achieved was the Gold Coast opening, in the last fortnight. Having that store now and that shop accessible for customers available now that from that northern New South Wales Gold Coast area is fantastic. It's what we've been wanting for some time. We set out to achieve it, and now it's kind of that, I don't know, a bit of a burden off the shoulders because it feels like we've been talking about it and planning it and then doing it for so long, having it now done, and we're now just trading. It feels a bit it's surreal, to be fair.
Well, it was a big, as you've mentioned, it was a massive undertaking to sort of get that done in the time that it was done. What's the feedback you've been getting from the staff down there around the customer interactions and things? Is it all taking off? Are customers sort of appreciating having something a bit closer?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, for sure. We're getting a lot of good feedback from the customers. Um, there's the customers that have come through that are just thankful that they're the ones that have obviously been telling us for some time that that car park that they commonly call the M1 between the Gold Coast and Brisbane was, very hard to handle. Driving to and from that area to Brisbane. So they've been saying to us they've wanted us down there for some time, but that's not the sole reason. There's obviously a lot of cost involved in doing these operations and setting these businesses up. They don't come cheap. So we really needed more information than that, but and we got it. There's the fastest and growing area of the country. That southeast Queensland pocket is booming with people out of New South Wales and Victoria. So there's all the metrics are leading us to what we've done. But yeah, the customers that have walked in so far have been very positive and very thankful that we're there and they're able to just, go to that region rather than come up all the way into the busy city of Brisbane.
And sort of expanding more broadly across the Ainslie Group, it's another area, obviously another retail outlet there on the Gold Coast, but you're based up here in Brisbane, but we've also got the Melbourne office down there. What's been going on from a Melbourne perspective? Is there been continual growth there? Have you seen sort of really that office continue to pick up? Because it's a few years in now.
Yeah, Melbourne's in its sixth year and doing well, or fifth going into sixth. Yeah, no, look, obviously Melbourne's strong. It's got a larger population in Melbourne than what we do have in Brisbane. We always knew that would be an opportunity for us, being that we had a lot of customers already from Victoria dealing with us prior. So that was my first hurrah, obviously setting up another site outside Brisbane. That was many, many years ago now, but has just continued to impress us year on year. Robert and his team down there are doing a wonderful job in growing that business, and we do see week to week it getting stronger and getting great reviews. You look at all the Google reviews we get, from the service that we provide, and the offering that we have there in Melbourne is nothing short of impressive. We're not obviously in the same building as everyone that is typically known at that 227, but we're in 357 Collins Street. But I think it's strategically worked out really well for us. So customers are very, very complimentary of that site as well. And we set that up with learnings from Brisbane. We've then set up Gold Coast with learnings from Brisbane and Melbourne.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we're getting the comments we're getting about Gold Coast, is because we just keep getting those little 1%ers better and better. So
Yeah, and that's always been your approach to this. I know you're sort of focusing on the little bits where we can improve that customer experience angle. Speaking
yeah,
also about the business
number one, right? It's number
Well,
one.
yes, yeah,
We're only doing this for our customers because it's absolutely paramount for me and for all of the team to have customers front of mind. The moment that we become complacent and we start thinking differently will be the moment that our business starts to erode. Um, we are only here because of our reputation towards the service that we offer our customers. And if we keep doing that and we keep providing that and we keep living by our values and our principles of this business, then I think we will continue to be okay.
So extending, when I say a lot's going on, a lot has been going on for quite a while. The fund, the Ainslie Wealth, the Bitcoin and Bullion Fund, it's something that has been starting to gain a little bit of traction. We've had all sorts of. It's not an easy process to get something like this up and running, but we're sort of there now that everything is back up and running, or up and running, ready to go. How do you think about the fund in terms of the broader offering of the Ainslie Group?
Oh, instrumental. And I think that's again another example of us doing things for our customers. Again, we've had a lot of queries about, well, what else can we be doing from a business point of view to offer something different to our competitors? And we've always long been known to have obviously the stable of the bullion dealer, and then obviously we've got the other business being the Ainslie crypto. And Bitcoin being as cemented into society now that it is worldwide. The Bitcoin and Bullion Fund is that fund we're talking about now. The reason we've done it is we've got obviously a long list of customers lined up that want access to that and want an actively managed fund to take care of their investments in gold, silver, and Bitcoin. Having the ability to be able to set and forget, put an X amount of capital into a fund, have the returns that we know that gold, silver, and Bitcoin in particular have been known for in the last 5 to 10 years, is something that's very appealing to a lot of people. At the moment, they manually have to do those trades themselves. They manually have to sell and buy and swap, etc. Having this fund do that for them, I think, is going to prove very successful and quite handy for a lot of people. And being the first that we know of that do this with physical metals and physically backed up by precious metals is the first that we know of in the world.
Absolutely. And it is, I mean, it's a wholesale only fund at this stage. So you do need to be that sort of qualified investor, but it's certainly exciting because of it, as you just described, it being that sort of trailblazer in this space to give people
Yeah, and
access
you
to that.
know as well as I mean, you've been around for some time as well as me, not just because we've both got grey hair, but because of the business.
It's the lighting. It's the lighting.
It is the lighting, and that's why my blind's behind, because you said it wasn't, sending the wrong shade of my hair. Um, but yeah, jokes aside, that we've done that a few times now, haven't we, Ainsley? Like, we're not just the bullion dealer that's still trading in bullion at your local corner shop. Ainsley's been responsible for a few different changes and a few different innovative ways of doing things over the years, and the fund is just another one of those. So
People always, it's great when I get this opportunity to sort of sit down with you and talk about it. People always want to know what's going on in the markets at the moment. And you're sort of in a prime position, really, because you're across all aspects of the business. So whether it's ordering stock, whether it's the actual pricing and how it all fits together. What's your take at the moment of what's going on in the markets? Because we've been near those all-time highs for gold and silver, certainly when you look at it in Aussie dollars. What's your feel? What sentiment are you getting from the market at the moment?
yeah, I mean, feel and sentiment is probably different to what we think is going to happen, right? Because the feel and sentiment out there, I think, is a bit unsure at the moment. There's a bit. I think it's still risk on. I think still people are taking a positive approach, and I think they should be, because I still think that there is plenty of good things out there that is happening. I think if you look at the country, itself is still very strong. We've still got good exports happening. The dollar's sitting around where it should be. The partners that we're exporting to are still, performing pretty well. Interest rates are an interesting one, where they're, what's going to happen there. I mean, I still think that the economists are right in, calling a couple more downward ones, but the inflation that's becoming a bit more sticky in the US should be, keeping people aware of just potentially that spreading worldwide, and whether that continues or not, and that flows then into Australia. We've called for some time, and you're big proponent of this, is that 25, 26 period. So, 2025, 26, is kind of that important junction and what will happen from here moving forward. So I think it's right that everyone is making sure they're up to date with their homework and looking at what markets are actually doing. Um, you particularly the question around gold and silver and Bitcoin, where it's chopped sideways for some time now, and we've always thought that wow, we took a big jump up at the start of the year, and for some time now it's just done the sideways movement. It range bound, but it's done sideways movement. Where is it going to go from here? I still think you'd have to call it's still going to head north, in my opinion, and that's not financial advice, obviously, but because it's just sat in this, it's held it up. So unless we have a black swan event or something like that, I still think we're going to see some positive signs before we eventually do see a correction of some sort. But hey, I'm not the economist in the room. You are, and that's why you do all those other segments and all that other Ainslie research around this space. But it's interesting what it does to foot traffic, because we're not seeing a drop in foot traffic. Foot traffic is still very strong. We're still seeing a lot of people come through the store. Interestingly, more people are using the web now and are doing things online than they've ever done before. So that part of the business is growing even more. But obviously having more sites to be able to go and collect their products and take it away is helping them as well. So
Yeah, and that does make a big difference to people, I think, that might order online because they know, oh, well, I can go pick it up. It is probably the most efficient way to do it. How we do things here is to actually order online and then come pick it up if you want, or get it shipped to you.
yeah, second to none.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look, sort of to wrap this up, is there any sort of final? Well, like I said, we'll try and come back to these once a month and have a catch up and see what's going on. But
and probably get better at doing them as well, right?
look, good from day one, so it's all good there. Got to suck up to the boss. But how's your wrap up here? What would you leave with people as their sort of your tip or how they might want to engage with Ainslie, or is it worth going checking out the Gold Coast store? How do you want to wrap this up today?
Yeah, look, I think it's that balance your wealth in an unbalanced world, isn't it? We have that tagline. We've had that tagline for a very long time. I'd encourage anyone that may be watching this for the first time. I think we get a lot of people that will watch this that support us and that watch all of the content that we do out of Ainslie Insights and through the research. But my final comments are just making sure that your investment portfolio, what you're trying to achieve long term, does contain the assets that we support. The precious metals, some of the cryptos. I think it's proven itself. It's time and time again we've seen growth in those assets. Never too late to put your toe in it and get a percentage of that portfolio put aside in this asset class. I think you'd be you'll do those that have been in it, and I'm one. You look at your returns that you've achieved over the last few years, and I was only talking to someone yesterday that's involved in mine, and he said, "Well, that you're up there with the top, 1 or 2% of returns this year based on your asset allocation." So, and that's because of the portfolio that I've got. So, if you want to be in that top, you've got to, and it's a risk-on appetite. Then you've got to be, in the assets that we're talking about. So, but again, it's not financial advice, but definitely come and talk to us or pick up the phone or come in store.
Absolutely. Look, thank you so much for your time today. It is great to have, speak to the guy at the top and get what's going on across the business. I know people really enjoy this, so we appreciate your time. Thank you for that, Michael.
No worries. Thanks, Chris. Look forward to next month.
Thanks, everyone, for watching. We'll chat again soon.